HTC Tribe. Hope everyone's been doing good. I've had a couple of really busy days. I'm officially an uncle. Pretty amazing thing to say I have a stud of a nephew. And I tell you what, he's not gonna be some woke little shit. You can take that one to the bank. But there's something that came up the other day that I kind of stumbled on randomly because no major media outlet covered this except for the National Rifle Association. And to me it's a little bit odd, especially not seeing this on Fox News, but the reality is if someone doesn't cover it, no one knows about it. And that's what happens with a lot of these self-defense shootings or when people stop mass shooters. No one covers it, it kind of gets lost in oblivion. And the only thing that makes the news is the crime rate in Chicago. And I personally am just tired of fucking hearing about that stuff. No one cares. The only time I want to hear something about Chicago, the only time I want to hear something about New York as far as all the violence goes is when the ATF and law enforcement do something about it. Stop going after law-abiding Americans just because they have a vertical foregrip on their pistol AR. Or because you think that a pistol brace is somehow making people criminals. Yeah, I've seen the whole thing about your amnesty period. See, the funny part about that is for you to create an amnesty period, that means you're saying that everyone who has this pistol AR brace has been breaking the law. And you're just, out of the kindness of your heart, granting everyone a period to get rid of them or destroy them or register them, or they go to prison because you make up one of these dumb fucking rules. When did the word rule become the word law? Someone tell me that, because maybe the ATF needs to figure that one out. Anyways, on July 3rd, this man, Raul Mendez, was celebrating his freedom with his family, like many of us did.
My name is Raul, and on July 3rd this year, we were celebrating our freedom at our friend's house when the unthinkable happened. A neighbor we never met came in uninvited and started shooting at all of us.
Anyways, they're having a party in his house, probably having a few beers, some barbecue, whatever goes with it. And one of his neighbors that he never met walked into his house and started shooting. Now, he had his 2 daughters there and his pregnant wife. So whoever the shooter was, he must have been a little bit insane. Because one, how are you going into someone's house? They're not bugging you. It's not like you were in some kind of road rage fit and you just got out and shot the guy in his truck. No, people are having a nice time with their family in their house, and this guy just decides to walk in and shoot up the place. So this guy walks into their house and he shoots one of this guy's friends right in the head. He dies instantly.
Right out of the blue. Before I can actually comprehend what was happening, one of our dear friends was shot and died instantly. Next thing you know, the shooter shot me right in the side of the head and through my left eye. I hit the ground unconscious. Everyone in the house was screaming bloody murder and thought I was dead.
And so he's down on the ground, pretty much bleeding out. Meanwhile, his daughters and his pregnant wife go into a room and barricade themselves because they think he's dead. Not a lot of people survive a gunshot to the head. It happens, but it's rare. So Raul is passed out unconscious on the floor. Everyone thinks he's dead. And I don't know how this happened with this guy being shot in the side of his head and the exit wound going out his eyeball.
What felt like an eternity passed, and then my eyes opened by God's grace to the sound of the shrieking screams of my wife, 2 daughters, and friends who knew I carried a concealed pistol.
Man, God had your back on that one. But anyways, after this guy was shot in the side of the head, he was concealed carrying. He pulled his gun out, got up, and shot the intruder who was shooting at his family 4 times in the chest, killed him.
After a short struggle against 2 brave friends, the shooter broke away from the fight and started to reach for his second gun, with my family lined up as his next victims. But I put 4 shots in his chest and sent him straight to hell. If I didn't have my gun, everyone in that house would have died.
And this is the sad part of the media and the country that we live in right now. If he would have died, it would have been all over the news. It would have just been another crime story for these companies to pick up. But because he lived, because he exercised his Second Amendment, because he exercised self-defense, because he shot the guy, no one showed it. When stuff like this happens, it's a tragedy, but we need to share it. This stuff needs to be on the headlines instead of the other crap. Instead of Beto being up there, or the new ATF director talking about how bad gun violence is when they're targeting law-abiding Americans. What are you doing to stop people from entering other people's homes? What intimidation factor is there to get people to not even think about it? And if you try to take our guns, then what intimidation factor? This dude's family would have all been dead, including him. So I have a recommendation to all of the governing authorities, or at least the authorities who think that they govern this nation.
Believers.
No, you stay here. I'm in charge.
Do you feel in charge?
You, only you, have let the crime rate go up to the point where it's at. It's not the citizens. You refuse to make tougher punishments for these idiots who use guns for non-self-defense situations to rob people, to kill people for no reason. And then on top of it all, you're going after law-abiding Americans' guns because they don't meet the rules of the ATF. Oh my God, he's got a pistol brace on his AR. What if he shoulders it? Is that really that important compared to this? Is it? Am I missing something? A dude who randomly wants to go into someone's house and shoot up their family, especially his pregnant wife. That's not something that you were talking about? You'd rather try to ban as many things as you can from everyone who follows the law, who would never even think about doing something like this? Everything is so backwards right now in terms of our Constitution. So it's very simple. Stop fucking with our Second Amendment. It is there for a reason. And if you live in a real nice neighborhood and you're a politician and you have security and you don't understand the reason to have guns, then shut the fuck up. If you have security on your hip all day and they all carry guns, you're not gonna understand the reason to conceal carry. But maybe if you live in not so good of a neighborhood, or maybe you live in a city whose crime rate is through the roof, and you're not sure if you go into this store, someone's gonna follow you in with a gun after and shoot up the place. So you need to carry something to protect yourself, your family, and your neighbors, your surroundings. That's all we want. That's all America is about. It's not about this bullshit where people are just shooting up each other. It's about protecting and preserving what we have. So ATF, FBI, you want support from everyone in the country? Go after the stuff that is actually a problem. Until the crime rate goes back down, until y'all can handle the crime that has already been committed, stop trying to go after people who are following the law, who are following the Second Amendment, and who just want to protect their families. God bless this guy's family. You were the man, sir. You stopped several people from dying, you saved your own life, and you got rid of an absolute piece of crap who thought it was okay to just go in there and try to murder your whole family.